Still thinking about a healthy soul and an unhealthy soul structure, and the difference between the two. And so we have been talking about being sorrowful with God or without God, and how that leads to an unhealthy soul structure, some sort of death, some sort of breaking in the soul that cannot, that is very hard to be corrected, and how with God actually, it's a very different story. I'm not gonna repeat it all. I just basically want to read one Bible verse this morning, and I think it's so good in this respect. So 2 Corinthians 7:10 speaks about godly sorrow working repentance to salvation that doesn't lead to repentance, that doesn't lead to, like, you will not be sorry for having done it that way. But then in verse 11, Paul sort of enumerates a bunch of things that comes out of it, and we can see how healthy this whole thing is in the soul. And of course, he's talking to a church, he's talking to people who have been walking with God and all that. But it's really great, because it tells us that there is much that is very forward pointing when we're going through hardships, life, troubles, things that break us with God. So it says here, for behold, this self-same thing, that they're talking about, that you sorrowed after a godly sort, okay, after a godly sort. What, and then comes the list, what carefulness it wrought in you. Like you kind of woke up and said, what you mean, and looked at with attention and seriously what carefulness it wrought in you. Yea, what clearing of yourselves. Like you were like just saying, no, this cannot be left in that way, we need to deal with it. Okay, what indignation. So there is a feistiness to it, where we say, no, I'm gonna deal with this stuff, and nothing was, because this is very important. Indignation. What vehement desire. Once again, a very strong motivation, not death where you are quitting and giving up, but vehement desire, strong motivation. What zeal. Okay, one more, and what revenge. In all things you have approved yourselves to be clear in this matter. So here we see all these utterly healthy, very forward pointing things, all this stuff that comes out of a godly sorrow. It's a place where we are broken, but we are in the presence of God. And God is there to pick up the pieces, and an important point, that are worth picking up. Okay, so brokenness with God, a place of contriteness, is good for us, because, well, number one, we turn to God and we realize that we need Him so badly, so that's great. But the other part is that when we're broken, when we're shattered, we're not so sure which parts are valuable and which parts are not. And many times we would pick up the wrong things, and we would stick with the wrong things, and we would drop the good ones. But God knows what is worth picking up, what is worth going on with. And He knows what is the stuff that should just be left there and left behind, and we should just let them fade away, and they should just wither from our lives. They are not important. God knows that. Here we see Paul is talking about how the Corinthians actually did it in the right way. They were sorrowing with God, and then with God they picked up all the important stuff, and that's how they went on. And this is really the beauty of it in our lives. Contriteness puts us in this place. God bless you.